Well, hello. It's Beck Ann here of Beck and Sam Crafting Fun. Thank you for stopping by today. Hello, everybody. I am here with Jenlee Schoolcrafts because I want to make some rosette ornaments out of old book pages. And Jen has sent me this Docrafts Xcut die. It is called Fiigree Reindeer Bauble, and I have had a whole lot of fun with it. I had made some ornaments earlier this month with the outer side, and now I want to make some rosettes using the deer die cut. Isn't it beautiful? I just love how it cuts out, and it even puts an impression of snowflakes and the veins on the leaves. And so I want to make some rosette ornaments and take you along while I do and tell you a little bit about the process. So let's get started. I first take this old David Copperfield book pages, and we're going to make these rosettes. First of all, I take the book pages, and I take 3 pages, and I take a decorative border punch and punch some stars down the side. Now I put the 3 pages together, and I am going to cut them at 2 1/4. So you're going to have 3 strips at 2 1/4. And this book is 7 inches long, so it works out perfect for this rosette. Now you could take some decorative scissors or any kind of punch to the end. I like to take the 3 strips and put them together and then do an accordion fold back and forth just like this. Now, I find it very easy to do this. You could, some people have some dies that make rosettes, but I don't think you need it, especially for how thin the book pages are. And, this is a book that could have ended up in recycling because it was falling apart. And now I'm putting it to good use. Now you take that bone folder after while I folded them, used it while I did my initial folding, and then I go back and take the bone folder. You want those book pages nice and tight. I use some liquid glue here, but I would have used a glue stick if I had had it with me. Now, while I'm doing this, I want you to know, use a glue stick. Don't use the liquid glue because it does change it a little bit. It makes it a little stiffer, but I was away from home when I was making these. I have 4 of them, and I will show you them all at the end, and I made a card. Now, while I'm doing this part, let me tell you a little bit more about Jenlee Schoolcrafts. At Jenlee Schoolcrafts, she has lots of different craft products. She has stamps, she has dies, and she has lots of this Docrafts brand, and they're at great discounted prices. So I hope that you will check them out. I will leave a link in the description box below to her store, and I will also have her list of products that are currently available in the description box below. But everything is at great discounted prices, so you're going to get a good deal. Now with this rosette, you need something to adhere the center, and I used a little 1-inch scallop punch. You could use whatever size you want. But what I like about making rosettes is that you can straighten them as you go. You saw that I moved, I fiddle with the little fan a little bit here. And before I forget, I would love for you to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you come back often, thank you so much for supporting me. So how do you like this rosette? Now, I want to give it a little bit of shine. And Jen has solar paste sometimes in her shops. She has all kinds of products. Sometimes she has a lot of them, and sometimes she only has a few. So if you see something you like, you'll want to get it into your cart. Now, you don't have to put any kind of extra shine on these, but I really wanted to. And you know I love my ribbon. So here I am showing you some ribbon from my stash, and I just looped it around, and I take some tape to tape them around the edges of my die cut. Now, Jen has mirror cardstock in her shop, and that's what I use to cut out all of my little deer images. So now is where I make a little oopsie. I taped all the ribbons, and I recommend you do that. But here I take the hot glue and I put it in the middle of the ribbon. You don't want to do that. I have made 4 of these and I will show them all to you, but you should put the hot glue on the center of your rosette because it melts your tape a little bit. Now, I was able to fix it, and no one's going to notice that I had melting ribbons moving around. But put it on your rosette. But look at how much shine that ribbon adds. Now, I used a die cut from my stash, and that is just some textured mirror cardstock that I have in my stash. And I had this tinsel wire ribbon that I use as my hanger, and you just want to glue it between the folds of your rosette. I go ahead and use hot glue, and that to me works best. You just have to be careful, and I use the end of my bone folder to slide it down into the middle of the rosette. Now, I love ribbon, and so I want a big, beautiful bow. And I love my buttons, and I use 3 big bauble buttons for my rosettes. You know, some buttons you can use on your card making, but others are just too big. So I use some big chunky buttons. Now these are not from Jen's shop, but she has lots of beautiful buttons you're going to have to check out because there's some wonderful ones, Christmas ones, and I used some of those when I made my other ornaments. Now, I will link that video at the end of this so that if you haven't seen it yet, you can check that out. Do you like making your own ornaments? I love it. I love giving them to my family. I have made several sets of ornaments with Jen's products this year, and I'm having a hard time parting with them because they just all turned out so good. So what do you think of this one? I am loving it, you guys, and I hope you like it. Now I'm going to be showing you everything I made. I even made a card. So let me show you that right now. For using the green mirror cardstock, I used this old world paper, this musical notes. I cut it out with a circle die because I really thought that made the deer image pop, and I used some of the other paper for the back of that. It was such an easy card to make, but look at how, here's the one we did together, and I just love the shine of that deer. And here's the green one, and I used a different shaped die for the back of that one. And here is this one. I love the ribbons I chose for these. And look at that button. And I used some rickrack and a wood button on the back. So you are going to have to hop over to Jenlee Schoolcrafts if you are in a place where you want to do some shopping. She has Christmas items and all kinds of things for your crafting. Well, I hope these made you smile. And if you are a new customer, you can use new 20 at checkout. And if you've been there before, use Beck 10. 20% goes a long way off. And until next time, I hope you are having a great crafty day, and I will see you soon. Many blessings to you all. Bye for now. Why, thanks for still being here. I've got some more crafty fun for you to watch. Just click here.